seems more and more companies are looking online to engage their customers. Want proof? Well, in the past financial year, the online advertising industry has surpassed the $3 billion mark, with revenues up 21%, and it provides insights into why traditional media companies are struggling like their share prices. These figures on online ads were announced today by IAB Australia, and their CEO, Paul Fisher, joins us now to discuss them. How are you, mate?
Very well, thanks, Peter.
IAB Australia, what is that?
So the peak industry body for online advertising. So we're a membership-based trade organisation, not-for-profit, with members such as Google and Facebook, News, Fairfax, 7, 9, 10, SBS. So pretty much all of the media companies and many of the digital media companies too.
Okay. Now, why is PricewaterhouseCoopers interested in this kind of thing? Because the survey is a shared thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Look, we really commission or retain PricewaterhouseCoopers to carry out the report on our behalf. Yeah. So essentially, all of the contributors contribute their data to PwC confidentially. We never get to see the individual data. The PricewaterhouseCoopers guys aggregate that and produce the report on our behalf.
So I guess if they're good enough for the Academy Awards, they're good enough for you guys?
Look, I think they've been good enough for us for a number of years now, and probably a few more to come too.
Okay. So tell us about online advertising and link it to the rivals out there that it competes against.
So essentially the overall Australian advertising market is about $13.5 billion a year. About $4.5 billion of that would be print, newspapers and magazines. About $3.7 billion would be free-to-air TV, and then online, as you just said, just over $3 billion. Within online specifically, there's three subcategories. There's search and directories, which search, of course, is the paid search results that you see in the yellow shaded box at the top of the search results. There's directories, which is online directories such as yellow and white, for example. Then there's display advertising, which are the ads that you see across content areas, the banners, the buttons, the shapes, and the video and email. And then lastly, the online classifieds, so all the recruitment ads that you see, the real estate ads, and also the automotive ads.
Okay. What subsection is showing the most growth?
Search is and always has done for many years. So a lot of money is being put into paid search by marketers. They're finding that money from their so-called below-the-line budgets as well as their above-the-line. There's evidence that money is being migrated away from newspapers and also TV as well as other media more broadly. So search powered with a 30% year-on-year increase, which is just phenomenal in this market. I mean, bear in mind, print is looking at a 5% decline. TV's about holding its rate. So for anything to be growing in double digits, let alone 30%, is just quite phenomenal.
Yeah, but it's everyone wants to be on the first page, isn't it?
They do.
Yeah, and so it does create a great opportunity for those companies who allegedly know how to get you on the front page.
And that was in the media recently, I believe. So, look, I think it's an interesting model. It's a biddable model. It's an auction, and people are going to keep bidding for what they believe to be the key words for their businesses. And I think that's still got a long way to go. It's currently at 1.6 billion, so about 52% of the total of online advertising is the search and directories category. That's fairly consistent with overseas markets. The US, it's over 50%. The UK, it's 55%. So in many of the markets, well over half of all of online advertising goes into search.
Yeah. What about banner advertising? How is that doing online?
Look, it's doing remarkably well. A lot of people have written the banner off, but of course it's not just banners anymore. There's a whole range of shapes, as we call them, and placements. There's online video advertising, which is part of a subset of display, and that's showing a remarkable growth. I think that grew 15% year on year, which again was above our expectations. We probably thought that would be around about 10 to 12%. It's up at $840 million, so it's not far off, probably a year away, less than a year away from being through $1 billion. And I think that's quite phenomenal, and we definitely are seeing evidence, as I said earlier, of a migration of so-called display out of TV and newspapers into display online.
Yeah, and those little annoying things when you see Scott Cam waving a CUA banner, that's probably more creative banner headlines, isn't it?
Yeah, look, people talk about annoying banner ads and annoying display ads.
I taught Scott. He was annoying then, he's annoying now. I remember it. It worked for CUA. Here I'm doing an ad for him.
And the thing now, Peter, is with all this targeted targeting technology in terms of anonymous targeting through online behavioural advertising, where consumers still get to control the use of their data. But if you've been to a golfing site or you're looking at airfares to London, for example, to then get ads served based on your browsing behaviour, anonymously I should add, and within all the boundaries of privacy legislation, to have those ads targeted to your preferences and your user behaviour is becoming so much more accurate now than any other medium.
Do you think the traditional media groups like the television stations and the radio stations have not really tapped in, because let's face it, like radio was the actual first social media when you think about it. People weren't blogging, they were blogging online, like ringing up and talking. But in a sense, they've got this audience and they haven't actually migrated them to their websites, and they should have been doing a lot of this sort of stuff, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I think they have migrated them. I think the challenge is to monetise that audience.
Yeah,
so the consumers are kind of leading the companies rather than the other way around. And look, they're all members of the IAB, so I'm not going to single any of them out, but they're all facing the same challenge. And then, as I said,
they haven't realised their potential. They've got the customers there, they haven't realised it.
There's structural challenges in that, consumers today are choosing to consume media differently, as we were talking about earlier, rather than the so-called push model. Now it's the pull model. The Olympics is a great example where Foxtel launched the app. A lot of advertising would have been sold online for the Olympics. A lot of consumer behaviour would have been online. So that's going to continue. The challenge still remains for these companies to monetise that audience online.
Where does the app fit into your online advertising category? We,
for the first time, reported mobile advertising as a subcategory of display. That totaled $47.5 million. That's growing at about 200% year on year, which is just phenomenal. And apps was a subset of that.
So businesses that are ignoring the potential of apps are actually ignoring the future?
Oh, Peter, absolutely, and ignoring the potential of...
Very good
absolutely. Ignoring the potential of mobile. I mean, consumer behaviour is moving from online to mobile devices now. I think 50% of Facebook access in Australia is on a mobile phone now. So there's a huge opportunity across mobile devices, smartphones and tablets for marketers.
So if people want to see this report, what's the best way of seeing it?
Go to our website, iabaustralia.com.au. You've got to be a member to access the report, but it's an absolute bargain.
All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thanks, Peter.